We all know that due to the pandemic, our daily lives have moved online. But I'm not here to bother you with a rhetoric on how we now work, study, or socialize on our laptops and smartphones. I want to present the dimension of this digital transition and its impact on the geopolitical scenarios. Just a few numbers. 45 billion. This is the numbers of minutes of webinars hosted on Zoom last year. Consider we are talking about 85,000 years. It's not difficult to understand why Zoom fatigue has emerged. Moreover, in 2020, global data consumption grew by over 30% compared to 2019, bringing the amount of digital data in the world close to 44 zettabytes, 44 times the amount estimated in 2012. And we will overcome 100 ceiling by 2023. A zettabyte is nearly a billion terabytes. If you do a complete conversion to bytes, their number in the digital universe is 40 times bigger than the number of stars in the observable universe. Given this figure, it is easy to justify why data are the new oil. Controlling this large amount of data can in fact provide a really advantage in the technological race. The protection of national data from foreign governments is thus becoming a priority in many political agendas, which in parallel compete to impose their own regulation as international standards. For instance, China's new data security law defines what data can be transferred outside the country without state approval. It's not a coincidence that the development of European data servers is one of the pillars of the recently announced European Digital Compass 2030. 90% of EU data are managed by US companies, with Microsoft, Amazon, and Google alone owning more than half of the top 600 global data centers. In comparison, the EU hosts only 19% of them, and China 10%. Therefore, the value of European data is extracted outside the EU, limiting the evolution of a relevant European market and amplifying cybersecurity risks. But the geopolitical competition is also extended to innovative tools to make use of this data. 5G is nearly a battle of the past, and the new battlefield is on below 5 nanometers microprocessors and quantum computing. The former is already the world's fourth most traded product, a crucial component for smartphones, cars, and the military sector. In contrast, quantum computing is still an embryonic technology that promises to perform in a few minutes processes that a regular computer would complete in thousands of years. All the leading economies, new industrial plans, name the American Job Plan, the already mentioned European Digital Compass 2030, and China 14 5-year plan, contain specific measures and solid economic incentives to these critical technologies. The goals are to reduce dependence on foreign suppliers, to encourage the reshoring of manufacturing companies, and to set the new tech frontier. Let's look, for example, at US-China tech competition. President Biden has put on the table $50 billion over the next 5 years for the US semiconductor industry in the form of additional subsidies and research and development initiatives. On top of this, Biden also pledged an additional $40 billion to upgrade research capacities in laboratories across the nation and establish a national semiconductor technology center responsible for the sector's supply chain security. These policies point to stop the plumb in the US share of global semiconductor production, which dropped from almost 40% to 12% in the last decade. Similarly, China's share is at 12%. However, the country is still the world's biggest importer of chips, despite the over $100 billion in subsidies during the last decade to support its domestic semiconductor industry. In the already mentioned 14th five-year plan, Beijing has thus announced the construction of around 70 new factories. If a part of the world is already projected into the future, there are also 3.7 billion people that have no internet access. As a consequence, technological competition may also further increase global inequalities among countries, also inequalities within countries. About 40% of lower educated workers will risk having their job automated, and almost half of the new jobs created by the digital transformation will require high skills. This skill-biased technological change may result in a growing polarization of the labor market. Therefore, investments in new technology won't be sufficient to secure the technological leadership, but they will have to be complemented with policies to reskill the natural labor force.